It's my money and I want it now. Anyway, quitting your job. Something I've done twice. That's 4. I've been selling on Amazon for years, doing one-on-one calls with people that want to sell on Amazon for years. And the number one thing I hear, I don't want to be rich. I just want to quit my job. I do not want a boss. I want to spend time with my family. That's the thing. That's what everyone's trying to achieve. Now, maybe you're different. This video might not be for you then, but that's it. Doesn't that sound great? Sounds great to me. That's all I wanted. And I did it. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to quit your job selling on Amazon in 2024, how much money you need to make, how much product you need to sell to make that much money, how to find that product that you're going to sell, softwares and way the business works, things that you need. Finally, once you find the product to sell, how to get people to actually want to buy the one that you're selling, not from your competitors. I'll be showing you my 3-level strategy for actually quitting your job to sell on Amazon. If you're new here and you get any value from this video, be sure to like and subscribe down below. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Median income US. Let's see where we're at. $37,585. Let's go median household income. It's probably double that. Joustjold? $74,580 according to the most recent US CBCPS. So household income, that's what we're going to be going off of. Can we make $74,580 in profit that we can pay ourselves from a Amazon FBA business? What do the numbers look like to try and hit something like that? Let's go figure it out. Maybe you can make enough money that you and your lovely partner can both quit your jobs. Wouldn't that be cool? So let's do this. Let's go 74,000 and do divided by, let's just go how many dollars a day is that? $202 a day. Okay, great. And then let's go times 30. So $6,000 a month. Got to make $6,000 a month. We can do that. I already do that. I'm going to show you how. You can actually see here we did quite a bit more than that, and we were out of stock for a full week this month. Now back to our handy dandy calculator. This is profit that we need to make. As you just saw, profit's only a portion of sales. Did 31,000 in sales to make roughly $8,000 in profit. And so the nature of that is that, yes, that can change. You can make your profit margins better. You can make it a little worse. In general, what I've seen to be consistent and make a lot of sense, about 25%. If you can get a physical product selling that has 25% margins, well, then the math becomes quite easy, right? So we would multiply this by 4, and that's how many our monthly sales and units would have to be. That's conservative, right? There are months where I'll do a lot more than 25% margin, and depending on what happens to be occurring that month, how you're doing your accounting, you might see as high as 42% margin. But let's use that baseline number of 25% margin. So we need to 4x our sales to profit. That's what we're going to have in our head. So just keep in mind that this is just the right steps, the right input on your keyboard gets you these results. I mean, it's just that. There's just certain steps that if you follow them the right way, you'll be successful. And I'm just saying this as like kind of a quick mental check for everyone out there that's like, well, I can't do this. I don't have enough money to start. And that's a valid excuse, not having enough money to start. But in the beginning, that doesn't really matter because, I started this brand that I'm working on now with about $6,000. It's a lot of money, but you can get there, right? Someone with a part-time job can eventually save $6,000. It might take years, right? Depending on how you're living, how hard your circumstances are. But if you're really, really trying, it's your main focus is just save money so you have starting capital. You can figure it out. I believe in you. So with all that aside, let's move on to the first thing that you need to do, guys. Now, you need to form an LLC. Yes, you can sell as a sole proprietor, but with the nature of paying yourself, with the nature of paying yourself in a business, and again, I can't give legal advice. I can't give any advice for that matter on this topic. It's all just me explaining my personal experiences with everything, but I don't want to scare you off. You don't even need to understand any of this yet, but a good place to start, if you're just like, I don't know, I'm going to figure it out as I go. How do I just get started and start making money? Honestly, you can figure out taxes when you're making $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month in profit. Not advice. So I use a company called Busy. I filed multiple LLCs through them, not actually 3. All 3 LLCs that I've created have been through them. And they just make it so easy, so simple. You click form your LLC. Now I have a link in the description for this service. It's an affiliate link. So great way to support the channel if you're getting any value from this. And by the way, I worked with them before I had reached out to them and asked if they had an affiliate program. I just love working, using their service, make it super easy. And package, I would go gold. They're going to send you your EIN tax number. They're going to send you your articles of organization. They're going to hook you up with a business bank account, or, a company. I think they're partnered with Bank of America. It's truly done for you in a way that it takes all of the barriers to entry out. If you're committing yourself to the journey, this is where I started 6 years ago. Go ahead and, get this step done using the link in the description. And then once you have your company created, you just need one tool. And now the cool thing about Helium 10, I don't just want this to be a plug video for everything, but I started with a company, I got product research software. This is the software that I use in my day-to-day Amazon FBA business, the one that I stand by. Once you get this, again, there's a link in the description, discount link, affiliate, blah, 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 blah. You're going to get a discount on it. And once you get this, you can follow along with the rest of the video. I'll be showing you how to use the tools inside of here. I wouldn't know how to do this business model without this tool, because I'm an incredibly nice guy. Give you 20% off for 6 months. I'm giving you a no more plug guarantee. Those are necessities. Need to start with those things. So we established we need to make about 25 grand a month in sales and revenue. I've found there's a pretty big correlation between search volume and sales. Obviously, people looking for the product. And so I generally will start from a place where I'm looking for anything over 5,000 search volume, 7,000 search volume. I want to eventually actually see the max search volume is closer to maybe 18,000, 20,000, not 100,000, not 200,000. That's way too much search volume. So I'm actually going to cap this at 40,000 search volume. I don't want to see anything bigger than that, because you're just going to get swallowed up in a sea of competitors. And as a beginner, this is a really healthy range. It'll be comfortable waters to swim in. Now, speaking of revenue, let's go ahead and throw our minimum. We know we need to make $24,000 in there. Let's just put that in there. That's the minimum revenue. Okay. And to be fair, if it's 22, better margin, let's just call it 21. Maybe we'll get more results. 21,000. Okay. Let's see, no more than 90,000 or so. Again, market's too big. There's just too many sellers that are doing hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales. It's intimidating. You're going to probably get swallowed up by those competitors. There's things that you don't know that you don't know. Okay, so price. Actually, we do 13. And by the way, there's no script here. This is me doing product research, showing you this step as I would do it. So it'd be a little bit different every time. It's a good recipe, right? Except for baking. Baking, you do not want it to be different every time. You're going to play yourself if you try and make it different every time. Okay, so review count. This is one that I think is stressed way too much. Social proof's important, but it's not that important. It's a piece of the puzzle. It's not the whole thing. So don't use that as your king metric. If there's too many reviews, I will never be able to do it. I have competitors that have 15,000 reviews. And me with my measly little, at one point, 20 reviews, I was actively taking sales from them and converting highly and selling a profitable listing. Now I have close to 300 reviews, 250 reviews or something. But yeah, it's way too much emphasis is put on reviews. I'll put 5,000 maximum. Okay, let's go categories. I'll just select all and then we'll just unselect through the list. We don't want appliances. No books, no CDs. No cell phone accessories, no clothing, no currency, no computers, no electronics, no movies, and software, video games, and take toys and games out of there too. Okay, this looks pretty good. That's about it. I'm going to start there. We're just going to look through this. We could always refine it more later. Start broad, you can work your way down. So these are all things that customers have searched. I'm guessing is that a supplement? Is it a brand? Is it a supplement? What is it? It's a brand. Okay. We don't want a brand. So by the way, if you see something that you're curious about, you don't know what it is, open it. That might be something good. I've opened things that I legitimately, in that situation where I was like, what is this? I don't know what this is. And it turned out to be good product ideas. Litter Robot 4. Some things you can tell are names of things. We don't want products that are actually... People are already looking for a very specific thing right down to the brand name. Now, here's a good example of a market in which the core product offer here is going to be very difficult to compete on. So let me walk you through why this is more of like a level 1 offering. And we'll talk about that more later. Ladle. It basically means it's like a private label product. Like you can have this product with your logo on it, and your logo on it's the different thing. Now you can have multiple colors, you can have different strengths than everyone has. Instead of 15, you've got 16 to 182, right? Like you make these dumb little changes that don't actually drive value in any way and consider yourself to be a different product. And then you see the new innovative thing that everyone's doing, and you find a manufacturer that has something that looks different than everyone else. You think, that's it, I'll do that. But then 60 other sellers do that thing. Okay, so the thing to remember when we're looking at product ideas is we need to have a product that people care about, and that there are elements of the product which we can actually change to improve it. But that combination of those two, there's such a nuance there. They need to care. What could you possibly do to a band that I'm going to deeply care about and be moved by and be like, wow, that's the one that I'm getting? I don't think you could do anything. Now, naturally, I think I'm more pulled to the ones that look more technological, like there's more going on there. What is that system that they're showcasing? More so than just this. But this is a product that I would just stay away from, to be quite honest. It's like a level 1 product. And the reason that I'm doing this live is that I want to show you naturally when I see a good product idea, what that might look like. So by the way, if you're lost in what we're doing right now, I have some notes below me if I'm looking down. We're on the how do you find a product that can make 25 grand a month? Because we established that if you have a 25% profit margin there, you can replace your income with that profit. How do you find that? That's what we're doing right now. You just take this tool, enter this criteria, and then maybe if you have to watch this video back a couple times, rewind, listen to me saying it, there's things that you're going to pick up on, certain products that I like and don't like. And now you can do with that information whatever you want. I'm not saying that I'm right all the time or that my way is the best way. But just showed you I was able to make this work for myself, and through trial and error, I've picked up on variables that seem to help and variables that seem to really hurt. And Pull Up Assistance Band is just a private label product that no one really cares about, that I can't really improve. Okay, so coming back through here. Again, if they're looking for a specific brand already, it's going to be pretty hard to deter them towards us. Hippo is probably the brand. Bird repellent. What's going on there? Who repels birds, really? Oh, I guess that's like one of the oldest forms of repellent, like scarecrows, bird repellent. So what is this? Market. And who's this? Okay, so now we're starting to get into something. So there's certainly a problem here. If someone's searching for bird repellent, maybe they're gardening. Maybe they just have like a big flock of geese that's always coming and landing in their yard and making a big mess everywhere. So first off, who is it that we're solving this problem for? What is the problem in the first place? Because already I can see there's like problems for businesses in the form of like pigeons and spikes for roofs. There's more scarecrow style stuff. There's kind of these gimmicky ultrasonic pest repeller things for God knows what. And there's things for flocks. So like I was saying, groups of birds that are maybe landing there. Now, here's one thing that I'm curious about. What sells the best and why? That's usually a good indication of who the core dream customer is, because this one sells the most. So if I'm the person looking through here and I'm consistently buying this thing, great. I've noticed just from looking at these in Amazon's little how many were bought this month thing, we could then go ahead and open up X-Ray, reinforce this by what do the revenues look like here. We know we want to consistently see 25,000 plus, which we see 30,000. 26,000, 77, 27. Okay. This one here, 30,000. If we could have this listing at 25% profit margin, we quit our job, as long as we can be consistent, make sure it's always going to stay that way. So let's see what's going on here. I get it, right? Spray this on stuff, keeps the birds away. But what's going on with the ratings? Like, who's buying this? What is the real problem here? So by the way, this brings us to one of the first pieces of how do you get people to want to buy yours? Well, wouldn't it be common sense that to get people to want to buy the one that I'm going to sell, I need to get the people. I need to be a voice of the people. Okay, so I need to understand who's buying it and what their problem is. What does their ideal product look like? I'm not going to look at my competitors, because if I look at my competitors, I'm just reinforcing a product that comes to market that's similar to my competitors, or just different for the sake of being different from my competitors. You see how we're losing sight of the whole point here? The best offer wins. The one that's most valuable. The one that customers instantly look at and go, that's the one I want. So how do we make that? It all starts here. Figuring out who's buying it and, the big contingent of people, what their problem is. So let's see. This person just says it straight up doesn't work. They seem like they have all kinds of problems. Talking about feral cats and birds and pesky birds no more. Okay, so birds. I wish they would be more specific. What kind of birds are we talking about here? 4 pigeons in the barn for quite some time. Now there are 4. Okay, pigeons. 2 nests on your front door. Chases the birds away for a few minutes, but they come right back. Waste of time. Rabbits even liked it. Well, it's bird spray. It's not rabbit spray. Come on now. Okay. So this is where I start getting off of Amazon and seeing let me show you an example of this instead of just saying it. Bird. Oh, I left out a letter. That's okay. Bird repellent spray. Okay, so this is like an actual website for something like this. Do they have more information? No, it's more like a private label website. Just have endless variations of birds, but might be a good place to start. And go to forums. I go to Reddit. So here we go. Anti-bird like Quora. What are people talking about? Just like the people who have this problem are going to be in forums like this. And so get out of here. Let's see. So I know this isn't like the most impressive hyped up content, right? Like this is just the nature of the steps that you need to take. I'll take a break from this soon so we just, for the sake of the video, progress along. I don't want the video to be too long, but I would spend a day on this step. What's everything I can learn about them? And honestly, if you don't like reading, you don't like doing research this way, go to YouTube and be like, how to repel birds. And just look at stuff like, watch these videos. This has 62,000 views, 200,000 views. Watch these videos. Okay. And these are good representations. These people have done a bunch of research to make a high quality video, or just video in any way, for the person that has this problem. So you can just kind of through osmosis absorb all of that information if you're thinking in that way, and then come up with a solution that might be obvious. Now, as far as solutions go, let's just fast forward into the future to the next step. Say you have a great understanding of who your customer is, and let's make that person up. It's 70% homeowners that have problems with crows. And we see a market and a page that is making all these generic products, trying to capture the attention of everyone. Okay, for just birds, because they're scared of giving up, the potential that someone else might not buy their product. Who cares? Okay. Focus on the big. Oh, sorry. My video cut out. Let me turn that back on. There we go. Who's the big customer in your market? Not like they're big in size, but the main group of people in your market. Make the product for them that they don't have now, that underserved person that would instantly latch onto, that's the solution that I need. Set yourself aside, and the way that you do that is this. Okay? You have elements and factors that the market currently competes on. Plain and simple. Whether it's ease of use, application, time delay, how long do these things take, setup, whatever. Duration, how often you have to do it, how far away does it work from. there's all these things, and you'll see it with the way that people are marketing their products. Those are what the elements they're competing on. Which elements of those are you going to focus on to increase the quality of, or the focus on that element? Okay. Which elements of that the market currently competes on are you going to drop below standard? It's been over-engineered in this way. We don't need this thing, right? This is actually was developed because competitors were competing with competitors, and they over-innovated in this area. That's the area where you can actually make some cost savings, because if you get rid of something, you no longer have to pay for it to manufacture it. Great, your cost just went down, profit margin just went up. The kicker, which element are you going to focus on that the market doesn't currently compete on, that you're going to introduce to the market that drives value up? This is your proprietary factor, the thing that you do that no one else does. And now, to come up with a great example of that here on the spot, of course, I would need to know my customer better. But let me give you a quick example of this. Say you go read through the forums, you watch the YouTube videos, and you learn that there's this simple recipe of vinegar, garlic, mint, and predator urine that when mixed together or something, like birds flee from this, and specifically pigeons flee from it, or specifically crows. Old grandma's recipe, right? Nowhere to be seen on Amazon. Okay, well now you kind of have this narrative and this story built into that, and you have this proprietary thing that you got rid of all the crazy junk that the utility style products with the scare it away with this noise or this flash and this spike and this. No. Clearly, there's an interest in the sprayable animal repellent. Let's just go that route. And let's just focus on the thing that was missing this whole time was this ingredient. This is what actually does it. It's backed by science. Okay, you see where I'm going with that? Now, if you do a good job of creating a product that sells itself because you understand the customer so well and because it's so valuable and it's unlike what currently exists, they have to come to you to buy it. The last thing that you have to do is create great presentation. Okay. Now let me rewind a little bit to talk about what I talked about at the beginning of this video, the levels of the 3 levels to a great offer on Amazon. Okay. So we just went through how do you get people to want to buy yours? Well, if all you did was spend a lot of time on product development and you made it a no-brainer. We've all seen really poor quality Amazon listings that sell really well. Why is that? Well, the quality of their offer is really good. They actually paid attention to what people want, and even though it's not flashy, it connects. Okay, so let's go back for a second, and I want to show you something. So let's do. Okay, great. Okay, that's fine. Level 1 selling is private label products. So it is, this style of crochet sells well. I'm going to do this right here. I'm going to do this one. Okay, this one sells well. I'm going to do this one. What's changing there? What are we actually doing? So all that we're doing there when we're private labeling is we're taking what other people sell and we're selling that same thing, and we're changing the presentation. Maybe not even changing the presentation, just changing, like, there's just another listing that if you happen to buy from this one, that one's mine. It's almost luck, right? Luck and a few other things, price, right? There's all these factors that play into it. What people don't seem to understand is how just truly unstable that can be. If there's no reason for customers to continually come back to you or come to you in the first place, when they see you, it clicks, you have the most valuable listing, you're proprietary, you have the presentation. If you don't have any of those factors and you're just another one of these, you might actually get lucky and be able to make some money. I've done that in the past. Where the problem in that comes, and specifically on the topic of quitting your job, making it stable, making an income, is that it eventually ends in a race to the bottom. And it ends in a bloody red ocean. Honestly, everyone's fighting each other. Everyone's gnawing at each other, stealing each other's competition. Kind of like, gosh, it's unpleasant. That's level 1 selling. Okay. I'm taking your product and I'm selling it too. Level 2 selling is I'm taking your product, but I'm presenting it like no one else did. Maybe that's like this. or kind of like this, or I'm taking Wooble's product, and we'll get to this in the end. I'm taking this product and I'm doing it too, but I'm going to beat all of these sellers on presentation, right? So it's kind of hard to find a good example of this, honestly, but they're all decent examples of it. I'm trying to do this, right? The thing that I'm putting on my packaging, the way that I designed the listing is I'm not just doing the bare minimum. I am putting some effort into packaging. The product's the same, but my presentation is edging on being okay or good, even great sometimes. So I sell what everyone else sells, but I put more time and effort and money into things like photography and things like video for the listing, enhanced brand content, package design. I paid up for that stuff. It's like private label plus, private label A plus. You're starting to get the right idea. You're starting to see the point of differentiation, that when you see this one, it looks different, it looks better, so therefore I'll buy that one. Okay, you're getting close. What's the problem with that? Product's still just the same thing. And now, as much as you might like to think so, customers aren't stupid. They really aren't. And they know when a product is truly one of a kind versus just it's another variation of this. Granted, it might be the winning variation of this or close to the winning variation of this and the presentation, but someone's always going to come along and take that spot if you're just competing on creative. Okay, it's not that hard to find a good photographer and good package designer. That's level 2 selling. You're starting to play the game. Maybe you still have the product development is not where it needs to be. Level 3 selling, this is kind of like the final level, is when you go in and you redefine the industry with a new innovative offer. That's exactly what Woobles did. Okay, notice that they're still selling 4,000 units per month compared to everyone else's 200 units per month or so. But why aren't they losing sales, right? They have kind of looks similar to what everything else we were just seeing. They're playing the game at 3 levels. They understand who their dream customer was, beginner crochet people, crocheters, and they saw an opportunity to make this all-in-one beginner crochet kit. So, do you see how it's not revolutionary? Do you see how it's not anything that you or I couldn't do? But when you come up with a proprietary way of doing something, which at the time they did this, they were first to market on this. Now, when I say first to market, crochet kits existed. The idea of you're going to make this cute little character and we're going to walk you through how to do it and include everything to make this one little guy. Not just like, here's everything you need to start crocheting. That's what the market looked like before them. They said, what if we gave them a very specific outcome of what it's going to be like to buy this kit? This kit makes this dinosaur. Perfect. Easy to understand. And when I look at it, I get it. Didn't you get it right away when you looked at this? So think back to a few years ago when the market was just crochet kits. It's the yarns, the thing. It's maybe they're showing examples of little blankets, little squares people crocheted, whatever. And they said, no, here's this little guy, and this kit makes this. That was their proprietary thing that they offered to their dream customer, who was beginners who were learning to crochet, who just wanted one thing to show off and maybe practice on. Okay, combine that with, so that's value innovation for a dream customer with great presentation. That's level 3 selling. So now I have a unique product offering that's for a very specific person that's packaged extremely well. And when I say packaged well, I don't mean literally the bag or box that it comes in. This is packaging too. Don't you see how the listing itself is packaging? The enhanced brand content itself is packaging. So it's starting to make sense. Packaging their offer. Okay. So now granted, there's some nuances in following through with the steps that I just showed you. But there aren't any nuances you can't learn for free. So, like I said, if you need to rewatch this video or you just want to subscribe down below to keep watching more free videos, you can get this. And if you're in a position that I was in years ago, where you're working a job that maybe you don't like, or maybe it's even okay, but it's not ideal, it's not what you picture doing with your life, this is possible. I hope that all that you get out of this video is that you truly believe this is possible, and there are steps you can take to make it that way. Give me 1 second, bear with me here. Are we in focus? Because this is important stuff. You can do this, especially if you do it right the first time. I did it wrong many times so that I could share my journey and make great videos like this for you and super speed where you get to begin. You almost get to begin at my year 3, my year 4, right? Being 5 years into this. Just simply by watching these kinds of videos. So hopefully this was super valuable for you. Like I said, if it was, you can thank me by subscribing. Again, there's nothing more I need from you. I like talking about this stuff. I do this stuff. It's helpful to me to make these videos. And as a result of making them, it's helpful to you. Great. Thank you so much for being here. And I'll see you in the next one. Later.